Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your paleontologist of stop motion animated awesomeness. Today we're going to be talking about a 1970 feature that was released twice, once in 1970 and once in 1986. Different, most of the same animation, but some different narration and slightly different scripts. So, before we get too much further into it, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. There won't be a poll to vote in, but tell me what you think about these original terrible lizards back when dinosaurs truly were terrible lizards. So, having said all that, let's dig into it. See what I did there? Okay, so this is the copy. Now, both of these came from YouTube. I'm not sure what their legality is, but we'll find out. What I'm going to do is run through this first one a bit quickly and then show you and comment on some of the actual animation from that, which I think will be plenty plenty cool, plenty darn cool. And created and produced by Hua Chang, who of, geez, now I've drawn a blank. Effects Unlimited. Um, it's just loads of fun. Some of these dinosaurs you will recognize as they later on went on to star, or at least be the basis of many of the dinosaurs from the Land of the Lost, 1974 to 1976. Gives you a brief history of the world, and then it starts talking about, look, there's Spot, the Coelophysis, Emily, the Brontosaurus. Now, the Stegosaurus did not make it into Land of the Lost, unfortunately, but there it is. And then we have Grumpy and Spike. You do not see a monoclonius or what was then called in 1970 a trachodonts. And we did see some pteranodons. It wouldn't surprise me if these were the same models that you saw in Land of the Lost. No Ankylosaurus at all. They do compare it to a horny toad or a horned lizard. Great horny toads! Thank you, Sam. You had to be from Texas. And then we get to the end. So I skipped a lot over it since we're going to go through it. There's our technical consultant, which was pretty right for the time being, 1970. Our animation and everything. And then Klyhauer, I would guess, Ellsworth Klyhauer. So, and then we get into the new one. So we're going to stop right here and start up with the video. Because we've got a video.
Once there was a time when huge beasts, such as these great dinosaurs, roamed the earth. For almost 150 million years, they were part of the world's life.
So there you see Grumpy in all his glory, and nice shots. The animation is not, dynamic. It didn't have to be. They were just kind of being themselves. Then we see how dinosaurs populated everywhere.
Their fossils have been found on nearly every continent, including North America.
And Antarctica now. Or, yes, they didn't talk about that.
Many of them in the United States.
All right, so let's go on a little bit here. So here's the way the life progressed, and then they get to man.
Amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals.
A little off there, aren't they?
The dinosaurs, 225 million years ago. The last of them were gone about 70 million years before man appeared.
So now that's, of course, 65 million years. And then we get to our Brontosaurus.
The size of a house. One could weigh as much as 25 tons, the weight of 12 automobiles.
And that's a small sauropod. So it does go on. I mean, there's Spot. We'll just skip ahead here, bits and pieces.
He was a meat eater, lightweight for his size, and very fast.
To outrun Grumpy. All right. And then we've got, I want to get to, here.
Like most reptiles, the dinosaurs reproduced by eggs.
Yes.
In the water, the Brontosaurus found support for its huge body and a ready supply of its favorite food.
And we know that's false now. And here we have the Stegosaurus.
Some dinosaurs had special ways of protecting themselves. The Stegosaurus, a plant eater, had an armor of bony plates that shielded him from his
They
enemies.
and the Thagomizer. Don't forget the Thagomizer. Come on, guys, get to the Thagomizer. It's a nice model, though. You can tell this is it's a copy from a VHS.
His spiked tail could be a dangerous weapon.
Especially if your name is the late Thag Simmons. All right, and now we've got Grumpy chewing on something.
His huge head was mostly mouth, filled with knife-like teeth.
So this is not actually Grumpy, because Grumpy looked a little
Forelimbs
different.
were of little use to him, and he was so slow that he probably could catch only old or sick animals for.
We know that's wrong too. There's our trike.
He was the largest of these, and any other animal would hesitate to attack him.
That's for sure.
Another horn face, Monoclonius, developed a single horn on his snout, much like the present-day rhinoceros.
Hence, single horn face. And the Styracosaurus.
All of the horn faces were plant eaters, and all had beaks like parrots.
All right. Oh, and the Triceratops there, of course, is Agent Frog's favorite dinosaur. And unfortunately for Lilith, well, there's no Packies presented here. So in this one they show, which I'm assuming is supposed to be a Torosaurus or maybe a Chasmosaurus, doesn't get a name.
The trachodons, called duckbills, were from head to tail as long as a large truck and trailer. They too were plant eaters.
Run away! And there's one in the background that you can barely see due to the quality of the recording here. And then we get into we get a Corythosaurus, a Lambeosaurus, and my beloved.
They lived at the same time as the duckbills, but are not members of the dinosaur family.
That's a Lambeosaurus. And there's a Parasaurolophilus in here as well, but they don't name any of them. And here, the Styracosaurus comes out a winner. A little blood here and there. Makes it good for the kids. I must have seen this as a young agent. Funny story is we tried to rent this one and got the prehistoric mammals one that they did later on, which is not nearly as fun. The obligatory volcano, which doesn't phase these two. They look, but it's right out of Animal World, by the way. Not above stealing a good shot if they need to. I like this here. We have a better one. Now I do have a couple of clips or pictures from the 1986 one. The picture is much better. There's our Ankylosaurus.
The last dinosaur survivors.
Let's roll back a titch. There we go.
Here is the Ankylosaurus.
That's the way I always said it.
Dinosaur survivors.
But Garrett always says Ankylosaurus. I tend to believe
The
that
horned
one.
lizard of today is cold-blooded like the dinosaurs.
Right, it's like they had this. It doesn't even run 10 minutes, but they do show a couple of animals. And now we get to the end here with nice silhouettes, beautifully shot here, I think.
Another that possibly the food supply became inadequate. And still another that mammals ate the dinosaur eggs.
None of which.
Don't know.
1970. It was not that long ago.
Today is still changing. Why would it be helpful for us to know why some animals succeed in surviving as the world changes and others, such as the dinosaurs, do not?
We'll never know. There's our technical director. And this is the end of the show. Yeah, there we go. We saw that as credits already. And we're just going to fade out now. And we'll catch you with the more pictures.
But I can. Pachycephalosaurus charge! He moved.
I did throw that in there for Lilith, but let's go on. Let's get on with this one here right quick. And this one only runs about the same amount of time, but this was presented by This Way. Same company, different logo. new theropod, which is an Allosaurus. And I don't know who animated that. Could have been, but he's chomping on another theropod of some kind. It kind of looks like it came from Planet of the Dinosaurs, but don't quote me on that. And so, nice start. There's Grumpy. Now look at how much better the picture is here. I kind of like the original one better, but they do have some different stuff. Oh, look, ancient amphibians. There you go, frog, your great ancestors. And they called them birds, but they're really Archaeopteryx, which probably were not birds. And then man. Na, 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 na. So we've seen all this. I just wanted to, mostly this is just to see how much better the picture is. So much clearer. But you can find this on YouTube as well. Yeah. And with the different animation, which is nice enough. And there's the Thagomizer, because you've always got to get that. And now they've changed the Hadrosaur from Trachodon to Anatosaurus, but they didn't change Brontosaurus to Apatosaurus, which I'm sure was pretty standard then. And there's the one in the background, so much easier to see. This is a lovely tabletop set, I'm sure. Corythosaurus, Parasaurolophilus, Lambeosaurus, Pteranodons, yay, doo-doo! And Kylosaurus, and there he is. And so they've altered some of the way. They don't say that the Ankylosaurus was the was one of the last survivors, which is true, but they show the T-Rex last because he's the best. And this oddball Chasmosaurus Torosaurus thing. There's Trike and the Monoclonius, and they name him. There he gets a really nice shot of the blood in a tender area. It's just a really 10 minutes is all it takes. 20 minutes to watch both of them. Grumpy says goodbye. We see some of these poses. And there it goes. So, my fellow agents, that is the Dinosaurs, the Terrible Lizards, both versions. And until our next assignment, you'll be digging it, and I'll be phasing out. X7, signing off.
Rampaging in an unsuspecting world, living creatures from the dawn of time. What havoc will they wreak? What lives will they destroy? What depths of panic and terror will they create? Dinosaurus, the most amazing, astounding, astonishing adventure of them all, beyond anything your mind can imagine, never before seen on the screen.